Hi, I'm Lisa Springer, Children's Librarian at the Kate Weiler Barrett branch of the Alexandria Library, where this Nutcracker music and movement program has been part of our holiday festivities for many years. We can't be together to dance it this year, but here's a recording I made of it in 2020, and I hope you'll dance along. I use a lot of different props as I'm dancing, and if you have some of these items at home, that's great. If not, grab whatever you have on hand. Just dance and have a good time. Here comes the Nutcracker.
Come with me to a Christmas party. It's at the home of Clara and Fritz, who live with their mother and their father and their grandmother and their grandfather in a great big house somewhere in Germany a long time ago. It's Christmas and the whole family is coming to visit. The other grandmother and grandfather, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, the friends, they've all come to the house. And they're all getting party hats, crowns, and they're all going to do a grand march. And you're invited to march too. Do you have your crown? If you don't, that's okay. You can do this without a crown. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to march. And I'm going to do the steps mostly in place because I don't have that much space. If you've got a lot of space in your house, you can make this a great big grand march. We're going to march 8 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to jump out and jump in and jump out and jump in, and then we're going to salute. When you jump in and out, by the way, that's called an échappée. We're also going to walk around all by ourselves in a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you're going to go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're also going to march in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and out, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do one more thing in this dance. The music is going to get very fast in the middle, and we're going to gallop. In ballet, you call it a chasse, and you can do a chasse to the side, but you're more likely going to do it like this, in a circle. And again, depending on how much space you have, you can make these big steps or small steps. I'm not going to talk while we're dancing. You just do what I'm doing, or better still, do what the music tells you to do. Are you ready? Then we're going to have the grand march at the party. Here we go. so everybody got presents. The girls mostly got things like dolls, because this was a long time ago, and back then little girls were supposed to be interested in dolls and cooking. I'm sure they got storybooks and things like that too. The boys mostly got things they could play with outside, like balls and bats, and they also got toy soldiers. But Clara got a special present. She got a nutcracker. Ever seen a nutcracker before? They come in so many shapes and sizes and colors. Clara loved the nutcracker. Her godpapa, his name was Herr Drosselmeyer, gave it to her, and she loved him, and she loved the toy. She held it in her arms like a baby. Hey, wait a minute, said her brother Fritz. Look at that nutcracker. That nutcracker is a soldier. Soldiers aren't for girls. Soldiers are for boys. I want it. No, said Clara. Godpapa gave it to me. It's mine, and I love it. But Fritz wanted it, and he tried to pull it out of her hands, and the two of them fought over the toy. I'm sure you never fight over toys with your brothers and your sisters, but they did. They pulled it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, until finally, oh no, the nutcracker flew up into the air and it went crash to the floor. Oh, it's only a silly toy, said Fritz, but his parents made him say he was sorry. And he did. And Clara picked up the nutcracker. It's all right, Nutcracker. I don't mind that you're broken. I still love you. And she held him in her arms until everybody had said goodnight and Merry Christmas and gone home. And her mama said, Clara, put the nutcracker under the tree till the morning. It'll be fine there. You need to go to bed. So Clara gave the nutcracker a goodnight kiss, and she put him underneath the Christmas tree. And this is what happened next. Clara and her family went to bed, but after they went to bed, out came the other family that lived in the house. The mouse family. They came from all over the house to celebrate Christmas. Can you make whiskers? They all came out and they ate little crumbs of cheese and crackers, and they had little sips of eggnog and hot chocolate, and they had candy canes, crunch, crunch, crunch. But the mice all said and ran back into their holes when they heard a noise on the stairs. It was Clara. She was worried about her nutcracker. She came down the stairs. Where is he? Where is he? Is he all right? There he was. Oh, Nutcracker, she said. I'm so sorry I left you here all on your own. It's all right. I'll stay with you all night. And Clara curled up under the Christmas tree and went to sleep. And this is what happened next. Clara woke up. Where was her nutcracker? He wasn't there. And what had happened to the Christmas tree? It was so small, and now it was tall. It was as tall as she was. And in front of her, she saw, oh my goodness, she saw mice. She saw so many, many mice, and they were all going, and they weren't little anymore. They were as tall as she was. She was afraid. She called, help, help, somebody please come and help me. And out came somebody to help her. Somebody who was as tall as she was. It was her Nutcracker. He had a sword, and he waved his sword at the mice. And the mice all went, and they went back. And he came toward them, and he came toward them. But then out came another mouse. He was as tall as the Nutcracker. He had a crown on his head. He was the Mouse King. And he had a sword too. And the Nutcracker and the Mouse King fought. They waved their swords at each other. And the Mouse King was winning. And the Nutcracker was winning. And the Mouse King was winning. And the Nutcracker was winning. And the Mouse King was winning and winning and winning and winning. And Clara was so frightened. She said, "Leave him alone. He's my friend." And she grabbed her shoe and she threw it at the Mouse King. And you know what it did? It hit the Mouse King in the head. Bonk! And he fell down, down, down on the ground. Down, 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 down. It was okay. The shoe had just hit him in the head and stunned him. And all the mice came out and they carried the Mouse King away. And Clara put her shoe back on. And she said, "Nutcracker, Nutcracker, where is my Nutcracker?" But he wasn't there. Instead, she saw a little boy. He was just about her age, and he was wearing a real crown on his head. And he said, "Clara, I am the Nutcracker, or at least I was the Nutcracker. A wicked fairy put me under a spell and turned me into a Nutcracker. But you, Clara, you saved me. When you threw your shoe at the Mouse King and helped me, you turned me back into a real boy. I am a prince. I am the prince of the land of sweets. And I want you, Clara, to come to and see my kingdom. And so all the people can say thank you to you." And Clara took his hand, and they walked together through a snowy forest. There was snow blowing all around them. Can you blow snow? Whoosh. And they walked until they came to a magic sled with white reindeer. And they got in the sled, and the sled flew away across the night sky and took them to the land of sweets. So Clara and her Nutcracker prince flew to the land of sweets. All kinds of people lived in the land of sweets, people from all over the world, people from Russia and China and Spain and America, from Arabia and Asia, from every place you can imagine. And they all came out to see the prince. They were so happy to see him. He'd been gone for so long and they'd been so worried about him. And then came a beautiful lady with a crown on her head. She was the Sugar Plum Fairy. I think she was the prince's mother. She was so happy to see him, she put her arms around him and hugged him. She said, "Oh, little prince, where have you been?" And he said, "A wicked fairy put a spell on me. But this is Clara, and Clara saved me from the spell and turned me back into a boy again." And the Sugar Plum Fairy and all of her people bowed and curtsied to Clara and said, thank you for saving our little prince. We are going to make you a princess." And they put a little snowflake crown on Clara's head, and they led her and the Nutcracker prince to a throne, and they sat there, and they sipped little sips of hot chocolate, and they munched on delicious candy canes and sweets from all over the world, and the people danced for them. And the first to dance for them were the dancers who danced a dance called coffee. We're going to do coffee as what in ballet is called a port de bras. Bras means arms, and we're just going to do some nice slow arm movements. You can follow me, or you can do whatever you like on your own. This is also really good music if you have a scarf at your house for dancing with a scarf. So here we go with coffee. we're going to do tea, also sometimes called the Chinese dance. And we're going to do a step called cheval. In French it means horse, and it just means you're going to pick up your feet and prance. I'm going to pick up my feet and turn my feet in a little bit because this is sort of more the real ballet step, but you can do it this way too. We're also going to do the jump out and jump ins we did before, also known as an échappé. Jump out, jump in, jump out, jump in. And we're going to walk on our toes. If you don't want to walk on your toes, you can just walk in a little circle, but it's a lot of fun to walk on your toes like this, or best of all, to do a ballet step called a bourrée, where you're going to cross your feet, get high on your toes, and take tiny little steps with your feet. Are you ready? We're going to dance tea. This is trepak. It's also called the Russian dance or the candy cane dance. And usually at the library we like to use bells with this. And if you have bells at home, you can use your bells and dance any way you want. But since you might not have bells, and we couldn't send bells home in the bags we gave out, I found a way to do this song with paper plates. You can also do, or you can move them without even making any noise. See what you can do as we do trepak. Mother Ginger and her children is so much fun. In the ballet on the stage, you will see a tall lady. She's twice as tall as any lady you've ever seen. And her skirt, when it opens up, is full of children who tumble and dance all over the stage. We like to use shaker eggs with this one at the library, but since you might not have shaker eggs, I bet you have either some chopsticks or some pencils or something that you can just follow the rhythms of this song with, and I'm going to do it sitting down. You can stand up or sit down and move around however you like when you do this dance. Even if you've never seen the Nutcracker, you'll recognize this music because the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy is used in so many things, including a whole lot of Christmas commercials. I'm using my ribbon scarf today. You might have one of our ribbon rings at home. If not, grab a scarf or anything else you have in the house. Usually at the library we do this with straws with ribbons attached to them, and that's a fun prop to make at home. In this dance, we're going to move our scarves this way and that way, up and down and this way and that way. We're going to walk around in a circle holding our scarves. You can walk on your toes if you want, but you don't have to. And at the end of this music, we're going to move very, very, very quickly and wave our scarves everywhere. Are you ready? Here comes the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. When the dancing was all over, Clara had to go home, and her prince flew her back to her house. And when she woke up in the morning, she wasn't sure whether it had all been a dream or if it had been real. But I know that the story of the Nutcracker says that when Clara grew up, she married the prince. So I guess it was real. Thank you for dancing with me. But before we go, we're going to do reverence. Reverence means basically thank you. We are saying thank you to people we dance with. So I say thank you to you, merci, and you say thank you to me, merci. You can do the bow, or you can do the curtsy. There are other much fancier curtsies. I'm going to do a few of those. But here we go with reverence. Thank you so much for dancing with me today.
Thank you so much for dancing with me today. You know, here at the library, we have lots of different versions of the Nutcracker. We have Nutcracker DVDs, we have Nutcracker CDs, and we have some beautiful Nutcracker books. And we hope you'll stop in during the holidays and find some of them. Thank you for watching. Thank you for dancing. I love you. Bye.